Hey, this is Griffin, and I'm here to talk about my final project, the Choose Your Own Adventure app. Um, so I actually created this app using a different method to what we learned in class, and that was with Storyboard. So Storyboard was something that I discovered while coming up with an idea for my midterm. It was actually this Choose Your Own Adventure app, but I was struggling to create the UI that I was hoping for using the methods that we learned from the textbook. So after much frustration, I kind of gave up and went back to a different route. But I always had the idea in mind, so I thought I'd bring it back out for the final and really use this chance to explore something new. I learned a lot in this process about storyboards. I was kind of going into it completely blind and didn't realize like how wildly different it was from the traditional means that we learned this semester. Um, so I had to learn a lot on my own. I tried to watch as many YouTube videos about storyboards as I could, but the thing I realized is that storyboards have changed a lot since the latest update from Xcode 12 to 13. Um, and so yeah, it was going in blind and learning a lot along the way. Had a really good time with it, and I think the app turned out great. So I'll show you the front end, and then we can talk more about the back end here in a second. So this is what it looks like. It's a series of like modal views that you bring up with each click of the button. You can navigate back by swiping down, so it's kind of creates this sort of endless card deck kind of transition. And yeah, I think it worked really well for the concept. This is sort of exactly what I had in mind, so I was glad to be able to like overcome some of the challenges I had with it originally. Um, but yeah, it's fun. It's endless. It kind of loops and goes in a bunch of different directions. And I think using the storyboards helped me to organize a lot of this information. Otherwise, it would have been like pretty linear. But yeah, it's the game ends when you die, and then you try again, and you go back to the beginning, and you can kind of see here you can navigate back, or you can continue to navigate from where you were before. Um, so yeah, it's got animations as you saw there. A lot of the things it seemed needed to be programmed using like lines of code, similar to what we did this semester. However, I was like kind of struggling to figure out how to connect the storyboard to the traditional Swift UI app. So you can see here, there's still lines of code here, and I can, from what I picked up through YouTube, you can, add different properties to the animations or the segues and create custom page transitions, things like that. One thing, for example, here was this brings up a keypad. If you get to it in the app, it'll it'll get stuck and it won't submit the typed information. So there's certain gaps in my learning there, but otherwise I was able to do a lot. This is kind of like a journal of my progress, learning more and getting more comfortable with it, learning how to align certain things, stack buttons and lines of text. It's one thing worth noting is I didn't test it for flexibility. So this was all run on an iPhone 12. I'm not entirely sure if it'll look so pretty on a smaller device, but like I said, there's still a lot of kinks to iron out when it comes to learning about storyboard development. But yeah, have fun with the app, see how far you can get. There's a lot of different routes you can take. I did indulge a little bit as it was my final. I wanted to have fun with it, so there's a lot of different Easter eggs and fun things in here. Yeah, like I said, just enjoy playing with the app. Let me know how far you get. Um, yeah. Uh, Talking more on the back end side of things. A lot of this was creating and duplicating different views, and then programming the action when the button is clicked and takes you to a certain destination. A lot of it was spent kind of relearning things like vertical stacks, and where to locate that, and how to program that into the app itself. So, you create stack views down here, and then your alignment tools can be found here. So you can program where on the page your buttons and elements sit. Use library elements to drag and add things to the app. So there's a lot of different options here. And then there's some of the more programmed things that I didn't have the chance to get into. But again, it's all interesting stuff. I messed around with most of these things. I tried to implement them like you saw on that keyboard. And yeah, there's just a lot that you can do pretty simplistically using storyboards. So I'm not entirely sure if this, even qualifies as coding or programming, but it worked. It worked for my way of thinking. As a visual designer, it just made more sense to work closer to the front end. But yeah, this is basically the app in a nutshell. Like I said, really happy with the way that it turned out. I love the endless scrolling of it. I think something like this could be implemented in like a social media app, or something along those lines of just endless scrolling. I think it looks really nice, feels really good. The swipe animation on it is really clean. And yeah, like, just happy to have overcome some of the hurdles that I had earlier in the semester. But had a great one. Thank you for teaching the class. Hope to see you around, and have a happy holidays. Thanks.